With this year's federal budget, the government is treading a fine line on spending to keep the economy on that narrow path with inflation coming down. The cost of living crisis is real. Households are hurting and pulling back on their spending. So the government is trying to address that with cost of living measures such as increased rent assistance, lower electricity bills, and a reduced price of many medications. All of those things will reduce measured inflation by the end of the year and hopefully reduce further inflation of prices that are indexed. But the government is also introducing additional spending measures that could boost demand in a way that keeps inflation higher than it otherwise would be. Most of this will probably be a wash in terms of the Reserve Bank's decisions. We do expect them to be able to start cutting rates from about November this year. And as we get to that lower inflation world, the government will also need to address some of the medium-term challenges to the budget. We won't have the same kind of pleasant revenue surprises with high inflation and high commodity prices that the government enjoyed last year when it ran a surplus. And with an ageing population and higher spending on the NDIS, cost control will be needed in other areas. It is a fine balance, but the government is trying to support households in a way that doesn't leave any fingerprints on a future rate rise or delayed rate cut. The previous 2 years ended up as being surpluses, but the government at the time of their budgets expected a deficit. And it may well be that the deficit they're expecting for the fiscal year 2024-2025 turns out to be a surplus once again. We think it's less likely because some of the positives that we saw in previous years, like more tax revenue because of bracket creep, won't be in play this time around. The Stage 3 tax cuts actually take out some of that bracket creep. We also can't guarantee that commodity prices will remain as buoyant as they have. So it'll be interesting to see whether we get another pleasant surprise in 2024-25, the way we did in 2023-2024.